Twilight. It isn't just for me and teenage girls anymore. Thanks to the 5 million soundtracks the movie sold, it's also for bands looking to reach a wider audience. I always forget if I'm Team Edward or Team Jacob. Which one is Frankenstein? Justin, are you a Twihard?
Dude, I love you and you're a beautiful man. But when you talk about Twilight, I just think to myself, you brought me on this show to torture me. all I can think about.
I had never actually seen one until about 3 weeks ago. I saw about 20 minutes of one on cable. I was actually surprised at how weird it is. It's like
weird.
It's almost like a really dumb person took drugs. You know how like the Beatles took drugs and they did like Sgt. Pepper? It'd be like if like a 13-year-old dumb girl who like draws unicorns in her notebook took like peyote, it would be like Twilight.
Well, I love Oh, it's so hot.
What is it with girls in the
Oh,
vampires?
it's just like, I just love when wolves and like really hot wolves and really hot vampires like fight over a bored girl. It's just so, you gotta be careful though with the soundtrack. Like you could get, there's some good stuff on the Twilight soundtrack, but you gotta be careful when it's on your iPod, because
It comes up as the Twilight
the
soundtrack?
Twilight poster comes up on there, and like if someone's like, which Radiohead album is this? And it's like, dude, what is this? You gotta be careful.
Image blown. Image totally
Yeah, you gotta be
blown.
careful with soundtracks.
I understand. It's so much of it is about like corporate synergy and stuff like that. Like this studio owns this record label, and so they're putting their artists in this movie. And it's just, you know, when you get into a band, it's like I don't think you're thinking someday they're gonna intercut clips of me rocking out with a giant wolf. You know what I mean? Like,
But then there's films like John Hughes films, which have amazing soundtracks and you know, opened up a lot of stuff. Ferris Bueller's Day Off had an amazing soundtrack. Breakfast Club had an amazing soundtrack.
Well, I think Twilight, too, it's a medium that lends itself to really dark-sounding music. The soundtrack is actually really strong. Many movie soundtracks are just a bunch of garbled songs that don't make any sense being put together. It's actually a cohesive, you know, decent soundtrack if you're into that kind of music.
I was surprised that Tom York was part of this. Like, I mean, he's like one of the indiest people out there. He's like, but I guess he did it ironically, maybe, so it's okay for him to make a bunch of money, right?
yeah, I'm sure he made it extra unlistenable. Just,